The learning objective of this section is to give a good overview of the symbols used on ARPA. Manual acquisition and plotting. A cross shall be used as the cursor for manual acquisition on an ARPA, and ATA, and for plotting on an EPA. Target being tackled during the initial state. A broken square around the echo indicates the targets under acquisition and initial stage of tracking, before steady state tracking. Past position of target on ARPA. At least 4 equally time-spaced past positions to be shown on request as dots on an ARPA. Plot positions shall be identified by an associated plot number, adjacent to the initial plot, and subsequently adjacent to the vector origin. On EPA, the past plot positions may not be equally time-spaced and are not shown astern of one's own ship. Area for auto-acquisition. If facilities are provided for suppression of acquisition, continuous lines should be used to define the limits outside which auto-acquisition is suppressed. Course and speed vector. Target being tracked when tracking is in steady state. A vector indicating the target's predicted true or relative motion, which may have a fixed time scale or time-adjusted scale. The vector origin is to be defined by a small dot or the centre of a circle. The circle shall be at least 2 mm in diameter. The position of own ship shall always be indicated by a dot. Target entering guard zone. A flashing equilateral triangle, apex down, shall be used to mark the target. A guard zone shall consist of continuous lines bounding the area chosen by the operator. Course and speed graphics. Target being tracked when tracking is in steady state. The graphics can take the form of a shape such as a hexagon or ellipse. The vector origin is to be defined by a small dot or the centre of a circle. The circle shall be at least 2 mm in diameter. CPA, TCPA warning. A flashing equilateral triangle, apex top, shall be used to mark the target. In addition, the target vector may be flashed. Lost target warning. A diamond shall flash. The diamond shall be formed from 2 equal triangles, one apex up, the other apex down. Trial manoeuvre. The letter T at the bottom of the display shall flash. Test targets on a synthetic picture. The letters XX at the bottom of the display shall flash. During a trial manoeuvre, the letters XXT shall appear at the bottom of the display. Test target superimposed on a live picture. The letter X at the bottom of the display and on the test target shall flash. During a trial manoeuvre, the letters XT should appear at the bottom of the display. Data requirements. A square is to be used as a symbol to mark the data reading target. Ground referencing. Symbols 3, 4 and 9 annotated with the letter R and if more than one target is used, with R1, R2, R3, etc. Tracked target without vector or graphic. A clearly visible dot, such as negative video or different colour, over the target, which is distinguishable from symbols 4A, 4B and 5. Target with speed less than 1 knot. Offshore installation. Mark the position of an offshore installation. Fixed target. Mark a stationary target. Anchorage. Specify anchorage area boundaries. Navigation buoy. Mark the position of a navigation buoy. Danger zone. Specify danger area boundaries. Prohibited area. Specify prohibited area boundaries. Special area. Specify special area boundaries. Reference position. Mark active reference position used to calculate relative range and bearings to a selected object. Standard map lines. Mark map information, for example, a coastline. Dashed map lines. Mark map information, for example, a 10-metre depth contour. Heading line. Mark own ship heading line. Electronic bearing line. Used to obtain bearings to selected objects' positions.